Okay, and here we go. So we first start off in Ninja Village. It's basically just mash central. Basically one long cutscene with some platforming involved. It's just an introduction to some of the basic platforming, your running, jumping, and one of the unique features of this game, the cloud step. So the cloud step allows you to hit an object in the air, most commonly these lanterns, and receive a double jump. So this is your standard platforming fare, your tutorial. So a little backstory, we've been waiting for many years for this Western hero to arrive with a mission. But he hasn't arrived, so our player character is quite annoyed, complacent, and then suddenly this demon guy turns up and starts messing things up. And here comes the Western hero. So we're aiming for anything under 150 really for this first level. Shouts to using Renubris for your name. As we all know, Renubris as your name is the guaranteed way to get world record. How do we know who's playing the music? That is a good question. I don't think we've got a visual cue on this. We are using Kammesennin's at the moment. So this is the intro level to the actual game. We've done a little tutorial, and now we get to use the abilities that we've been taught how to use. So both players getting their 40 time shards before approaching the first shop and receiving the climbing claws. The 40 time shards will also allow them to buy Strike of the Ninja, which allows them to attack projectiles in the air to recover their double jump. It's arguably more fundamental than the actual mandatory movement upgrades. And it's definitely worth the additional style points. Renubris just grabbing the... see? He's done this on purpose. Marazio just grabbing the health there, so he could take the damage boost, unfortunately taking another hit. So he's going to have to take this the slow way. So pretty much even through Autumn Hills. Shout outs to that high pass filter when you go underwater. Whoever's idea that was, that it's just this tiny piece of genius. It's beautiful. So there is an ability that allows you to swim horizontally very fast through the water. Unfortunately, it gets used exactly once during the 8-bit run. Kammesennin taking an unfortunate hit there. Maurizio taking that room very cleanly. Let's see how Kammesennin does. Yeah, absolutely perfect. It's a beautiful little climb, and it's one of the first kind of instances of where the optimization comes in. So the no out of bounds category is really about optimizing your platforming. Oh, and Kammesennin taking a hit there. So until we get second wind, you can't recover from a fall. So if you take damage, you will fall until you hit the ground. Once we get the second wind ability, it allows you to recover in the air, which is used for damage boosting as well. So you see Maurizio with an example of toe climbing, which is jumping and wall climbing at the optimal pace. So all you see is the toes of the character. There, Kammesennin doing very much the same thing. All you see is the toes of the character touching the wall. So Maurizio going into the leaf golem fight, Kammesennin just into the shop. So in the shop we buy that second wind and the shuriken, which allows us to one cycle this boss. Without the shuriken, you don't have the damage output to take him down in that first position, and he jumps up to the top and it wastes around 10-15 seconds. So a nice easy fight there for both runners. Maurizio just going into Forlorn Temple, which he's now finished. We see about 15 seconds of this level in the 8-bit run. So here we encounter the first Phobekin, the only one we'll see in this run. These guys build the bridge to Forlorn Temple, which because that bridge is out, we can't get in, so we end up falling into the catacombs instead. So here you see Maurizio with his first encounter with the boss of this level, Ruxton. The tall fellow with the cape and the staff. So this level's a lot more vertical and a lot more claustrophobic than Autumn Hills, which with a name like Catacombs you would quite rightfully expect. So all these rooms are timed on cycles. You can reset the cycle by leaving the room and re-entering. Which means that there's very little RNG in this game. But what RNG there is very unpleasant. So we'll see, yeah, Maurizio not opting for that initial damage boost. There is a second damage boost that he will most likely take. And Kammesennin also opting to wait that cycle out. There is very little difference in the two damage boosts. So it's really just runner preference. So here's Maurizio with the second Ruxton encounter. And there's the worst RNG in the game, these wizards. Not so much here, that's a fairly predictable rune. But they get worse throughout the run. And there Runubris taking the... See, I've done it again. Maurizio taking the second damage boost. Kammesennin opting to take the slower route, but safer. So both players with a nice climb through that room. And Maurizio entering the Ruxton fight, so this tall fellow with the staff is going to drop down and do his little spiel, and then you realise that he's not quite such a tall fella. This is one of the worst parts of RNG in the run. And Maurizio getting garbage RNG to begin with. What we're looking for is for him to fly up to the top of the screen first. That would be the ideal. It looks like they might have, yeah, they both have the same RNG. Solid fight from Maurizio. Kammesennin just recovering that top position. The longer you can stay in that top position, the more damage you'll be able to do. So Maurizio now entering Bamboo Creek. Some of the most technical platforming in this 8-bit run. And probably the most frustrating in terms of platforming. The music's great though. So here we have water currents. Which influence your speed. So we see some very technical platforming there from Maurizio. Making good use of that cloud step. There's Halberd Guy. I think we see him twice during the run. Technically not out of bounds. If if anyone wants to contest that, we've been through it. Jumping over that tree, even though it's technically off the screen, is not out of bounds. Kammesennin just taking Halberd Guy. Again, great platforming there from Maurizio. Just misses that shortcut though, so he's going to take it the slightly slower way. Could be a chance for Kammesennin to catch up. Struggling a little with those projectiles. But he does get the faster climb there. Right, so he was struggling somewhat with what is possibly the most tricky room to get through quickly. So, no boss here, as Maurizio leaves Bamboo Creek. Kammesennin taking that room much more cleanly. So he'll definitely gain a few seconds back there. So here we have Howling Grotto, a gap you can't get over, and another visit to the shop. So purchasing a few more upgrades there. So we get the wingsuit for free. We purchase Currents Master and Aerobatics Warrior. So Currents Master allows you to swim particularly quickly underwater, which is used exactly once. And Aerobatics Master allows you to downward strike while gliding with the wingsuit. And Renubrus is also picking up an additional health point there as well, which can come in very handy. And I keep calling him Renubrus. I'm gonna have words. Yeah, exactly. What is Renubrus doing? So again, we've got some tight platforming here. The devs have really made the most of their available space in the rooms in Howling Grotto. Also, if you've ever seen the screenshots for Hidden Palace from Sonic 2, it's quite reminiscent. So we have a lot of these vertical drops with lots of spikes, which makes full use of the wingsuit. There you see Maurizio just giving that one use of the Currents Master upgrade. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. The platforming section seems... Oh, and Kammesennin just taking the death to the pit there. That is unfortunate. So there is something of a cycle with these, with the platforming in these sections. They do tend to sort of follow a pattern. There's an open section, there's a claustrophobic section. I see where that's coming from. Maurizio just taking Emerald Golem, so 7 hits and then 1 shuriken allows maximum damage up at the top of the screen. And you see the central core start flashing and the spikes raise on the shoulders, it's time to run. And another 7 hits. And 1 more shuriken. So that's 2 cycle. 7 more hits on the glowing core once it rises up. Absolutely no bother there from Maurizio. Kammesennin just coming in to fight Emerald now. And he's whiffed a shuriken and a second shuriken, so he's not going to get the 2 cycle this time, unless he's incredibly lucky. No, it looks like he's not going to get that 2 cycle this time. So Maurizio entering Quillstream Marsh. Stylistically my favourite area. Another big wide open playground for the wingsuit here. Marazio, what's he doing here? He's got to wait for the fireball now because he killed the bird. Now that jump over the ring there that Marazio did is actually quite difficult. The positioning's quite precise. I wouldn't say that's the only good bird. It's the only good bird in 8-bit. All the mushrooms here remind me a lot of Crypt of the Necrodancer. So seeing singing mushrooms in chat just makes me think even more of that game. There we are, Kammesennin showing how it should be done. So Marazio entering the Queen of Quills fight. Missing the first position manipulation, the shuriken throw. But managing to do enough damage to get her into the whip phase. And finishing the fight quite easily. So there we see Quilbull. Probably the cutest character in this game. And since Marazio hasn't died, our player character Ninja has no idea what he's looking at. So now Marazio entering into Searing Crags. Probably the most fun platforming in this game. Again, we find an obstacle that we can't pass, we enter the shop, and we get the rope dart. Because it's Quilbull. Quilbull's the cutest. So there is a difference in the cutscene. If you have died, then you have a little cutscene with Quilbull and Quilbull. And Marazio just missing that skip there. So as I mentioned before, leaving the room and then re-entering to reset the cycle. The question, fun or quotes fun? Actually fun. I really enjoy platforming in this level. You get the rope dart and this whole place is just a really nice place to use it. It's not a hook shot. So a lot of nice vertical platforming, and your horizontal movement is massively improved. by the rope dart. So now we get these rings, which are actually there in the Queen of Quills fight. Oh, and Maurizio taking a death there. So there you see Kammesennin in the cutscene with the two demons, imps. Not sure what they are. Was an unfortunate death there, but he does still have the lead. Nice use of the rope dart in that very horizontal room there. So here we use the fireball to skip some of the platforming. Just abusing the cloud step as much as possible. Maurizio using that one tile wall jump. It's quite a tricky thing to pull off, but if you're falling, you may as well try it. I'm getting the save point just before this boss, just for good measure. So this is Kammesennin. All leg day and arm day. Much abuse of the finite number of iframes that the rope dart gives you. So arm guy you can only hit from the back, and leg guy you can only hit from the front. So you see Maurizio using the rope dart to pass through and then attack from the rear. And taking a death. That is unfortunate. He's really throwing the time away. Kammesennin trying so hard to get this minor skip that it's arguable whether or not he's actually saving time there. These dual attacks where both bosses join together, they waste a lot of time. Maurizio actually finishing the fight this time. And we have more cutscene simulator. Maurizio being launched up into the air for no apparent reason. Although they are doing you a favour as we approach Glacial Peak. And this is where all of your platforming skills really get tested. So a question posed in chat, is 8-bit a better speedrun than 16-bit? That is a subjective question. A lot of the community prefer it because the 16-bit, well, the full game speedrun is much longer. You know, it's over 2 hours for the best runners. So, you know, it's quite a, for a platformer that long, it's quite a grueling task to do something that long. Kammesennin finishing off Kammesennin as well. say, you see more of that technical platforming. You see a lot more of the optimizations that make this a really fun category to run. Since we're not abusing the out of bounds glitch, you're relying entirely on your platforming skill. Along with some minor abuses. Horacio showcasing one of the clean little strategies used for platforming. Very clean. Oh, just as I say that. I would say that the most minor example of the commentator's curse, calling a climb very clean, and he just whips the last jump. Easy recovery though. So Horacio has completed his mission. He's taken the scroll up to the top of Glacial Peak and spoken to the 3 hooded dudes, and they've conjured a tower. More cutscenes over later. Horacio enters Tower of Time. Oh, and Kammesennin taking another death. That is unfortunate. So the gist of Tower of Time is puzzle platforming. Pink crystals turn off lasers and open doors, and blue crystals are used to teleport. Well, for a given value of teleport, they turn you into a blob of light, and then you can move down a tube. So a lot of these are just timed puzzles. Set the timer and then get through the puzzle as quickly as you can. Once you know what you're doing, they're fairly lenient. The worst rooms are the ones with these wizard guys in. Horacio getting some good RNG there. Kammesennin finishing Glacial Peak. So the room that Horacio just finished always seems a little more stressful than it actually is. He does have the health to do a damage boost here, but it looks like he's going to play it safe. Oh yeah, definitely playing it safe, taking up the safety save. Taking an unfortunate hit there, but no big deal. Now it's the RNG there. Should be okay. And Kammesennin taking another death. Razio just hitting the time waster room. Oh, Kammesennin taking another death. It's not quite fast enough getting through that laser. Razio entering the most badass room with all the lasers and falling platforms, and who wouldn't want to do this? So Razio entering the Arcane Golem fight. Bears no resemblance to Sigma whatsoever, honestly. Razio finishes. That's GG Razio. Yeah, looks like we're going to have a little bit of an interview. Doesn't seem like there's anyone to do setup. Hey, Razio.
Well, hello there.
So GG.
Pretty much.
So 37-20. Not a terrible time.
Yeah, so good now. I had better runs.
So how do you feel about the run?
How do I feel about the run? I feel like Ranubris isn't the file name we should use.
I was saying before about how that's a guaranteed world record, and you've just gone and proved it wrong.
Thank you very much. Like I had to, he used my name as file name, so I kind of was forced to use this. But it didn't work out. I mean, my autumn hill was pretty, I don't know what to call it.
It looks like Kammesennin may have clipped and possibly softlocked the game.
Yeah, he actually clipped. He wrote that in the race channel. I have no idea how he did that.
It looks like he's... Hey, well, what happened?
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, I accidentally clipped out of bounds. I've never done it before on purpose or on accident, but I sure did it now after a whole lot of just really bad deaths. Mostly I'm going to blame the wingsuit. It's my fault, but I'm going to blame the wingsuit. I wish it had its own buttons so badly. Once I get it, that is it. All my precise movement is done.
That's really a shame, though.
Yeah, well, I guess it happens. It was cool because it was the first time I'd ever clipped out of bounds, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. What if I duck? Oh, I died. Okay, well, whatever.
Well, this might be your entry to the next category.
Maybe. I mean, if I can figure out how I did it. I never got the movement down exactly for it. I was not using the rope dart to do it, so I don't know.
Maybe you found a new clip. Who knows?
Well, GG. Unfortunate. Well, did you forfeit there?
Oh yeah, I forfeit. That was it. Once I clipped out of bounds, I was like, nah, that's done.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get into the debate about it. I don't want this run anyway. It's over.
You can keep a run valid by reverting to the checkpoint or just wasting some time if it's just an accidental clip and you don't die. That doesn't necessarily invalidate your run, but yeah, if you forfeited, then that's unfortunate. Better luck next time.
Thanks, man. I need it. I never do a tournament match in any tournament without just absolutely destroying my splits in the opposite direction of what I'm trying to.
I'd be glad your splits actually worked. Mine didn't.
Well, mine are manual. That's the only reason.
Okay.
When I use the auto splitter, I have problems every time, so I stop bothering.
Enough.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's
GG, man.
GG to you.
GG both of you. Thanks for racing. Always entertaining.
Thanks for commentating.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching.